My mother-in-law redecorated our house when we weren't there. My husband asked his mom to come over to check on the cats when we went away for 3 days. To my surprise, when we got home, she changed our entire house decorations and moved furniture around. She got us new bedding in white with pink floral. She replaced my bath rugs and shower curtains. Bought new floor lamps. Hung a dingy Dollar General picture over our bed, it left a hole on my wall. She replaced everything I have with a ridiculous floral pattern. My husband called her to thank her for doing that. She said she hoped that it wasn't rude and it didn't make us to not want to talk to her again. We didn't talk to her for 2 years over something she did to us. We just buried the hatchet with her few months back. I feel like when I let my guard down, she starts to get over the line again. But I don't want to sound ungrateful or rude when bringing this up with her. We already told her before, please don't buy it anything, we don't want you to waste money on buying things we don't use. I even hinted that I love your Home Depot gift card, it was tremendously helpful to us. But she doesn't get it, she just ignores us and buys whatever she thinks we need. How should I gently talk to her about this? Your husband thanked her, I'd throw them both in the bin. That is a huge boundary stomp and I can't believe he thanked her. I'd be super petty and return the favor. Redecorated her house with clowns and then just smile at her sweetly. Your husband thanked her for invading your privacy and altering your home. On what planet should she have been thanked for that? You didn't ask, you don't like it, she damaged your wall and he thanks her? Now you are stuck with it as you know you can't change it without her being hurt. Bloody hell, your husband is an idiot. What? He thanked her? OMG. Please consider getting couples therapy for the both of you. What a huge boundary stomp and how devastatingly sad is it that he thanked her for mistreating you. She literally articulated the exact boundary that she crossed and he thanked her for it. So now this is a him problem and he gets to handle it. He needs to start off the conversation by saying, I said thank you because I was so shocked that you had crossed a boundary after you knew how we felt, and the fact that you were able to say you were afraid we wouldn't talk to you meant that you knew what you did wasn't okay. After having some time to get over the initial shock, you're right, it's not okay and we are not going to be doing this anymore, or we will not be speaking to you again because we are not children, and this is not your dollhouse. He literally encouraged her to do it more. You do understand that, right? That gave her the green light to do this more often because she got positive feedback. She doesn't get to have a key to your place and I would be changing all locks, and her ability to be in your house without you, there is revoked and it is him that is going to have to do it. There is no time to sit on this at all. He needs to swoop back in, and say after the shock has worn off, we've decided no, this is an absolute boundary stomp from hell. She knew what she was doing and she knew that it wasn't acceptable because she wouldn't want you to go into her home, and do that, and she would not go into any other adult's home, and do the thing that she did to your home. She did it to see what she could get away with and now she knows. It also serves as a way to snoop through all of their personal belongings. People like this can't stand the thought of not knowing all the most personal details in the lives of their children. Absolutely, the redecorating was her pissing on her new territory. Mother-in-law has to be put in check. That 2 years only made her more determined. Pack up everything and have your husband take it back to her. Explain that his previous expression of gratitude was out of shock. He needs to tell her that, if at any point she thinks an action is going to trigger NC from you, then assume it will. He needs to tell her see you in 2022. She said she hoped that it wasn't rude, and it didn't make us to not want to talk to her again. She does get it. She preemptively said this because she knows what she did was rude, and is a valid reason not to speak to her again. The problem is simply that she doesn't respect you, your husband, or your home. There isn't a gentle way to talk about it. Absolutely. She knows exactly what she did. This is about control. I would return everything to her and tell her goodbye. And dear husband needs a reset to his normal meter. She never should have been thanked for number 1. Your dear husband needs to tell her she was way out of line. Get your key back and never let her in your house unattended again. Why the fuck did your husband thank her for invading your home, and violating your space like that? What, because your home wasn't to her taste she decided it was fine to change everything? Don't gently talk to her about this. Tell her it was rude, completely unacceptable, that she'd better return everything of yours she moved, got rid of, or pay to replace it, and then never let her back in your home unsupervised. This is so far past buying you things you don't need. How do you know she didn't rummage through your private personal items too? You literally can't be ungrateful in this situation, there's nothing to be grateful for. This is literally one of the most terrible and insulting things ever. You just let her back into your lives and she pulls this shit. Clearly 2 years wasn't long enough. Also, it's so gross that she bought you the bedding that you want to fuck your husband in. She did not have good intentions, and you and your husband are incredibly naive if you think for a second this wasn't 100% malicious. She did not have good intentions. That was a control thing. She even told you she knew it was out of line when she said she thought it might make you not want to talk to her again. Probably we were naive. My husband tends to defense for people, think good of people. Even when I rant about my family, he would make reasons of they mean good. In this situation, I believed her that she meant good when she said she hopes it would not make us stop talking to her again. Move all this crap into his man cave if he has one, if not make one in the corner of the garage. Pink floral? I love pink, but it's not for everyone. All my rooms have specific art, specific color scheme. I would lose my shit. Hire a pet sitter. We're incredibly affordable. We usually have a friend who would watch our cats for us, but he was busy. And my husband was convinced that his mom would be happy to watch our house for us to make up for the past 2 years of not talking. I love pink too, but not that horrible shade of pink and floral prints. He called her to thank her? Oh my goodness, no. I would have changed the locks already so she could never get in my home again, and I would have taken every item she brought into my home and left it on her porch. Why is her happiness more important to your husband than yours? I packed them up and will return them to stores. It was our fault to ask her to watch the cats, never again. So, your husband thanked his mother for lifting her leg and pissing all over your home like a dog marks its territory? What the hell? So his head went straight back into her vagina when you two started talking to her again. Nope. What happened to your things? Did she throw them out or put them away? If she put them away, pull them out and put them back where they belong. If she threw them away, she owes you for everything she got rid of. Take whatever she put into your home and put it on her front lawn. My mother-in-law does this too. Not to quite the extent yours did, but rearranging furniture, replacing our kitchen floor mat, going into our room and steaming our duvet, why, putting little decorations around, it's so inappropriate. She apparently did it at her brother's house too. And she doesn't say anything, she just leaves the house that way and never mentions it. I am also appalled that your husband thanked her. Did he actually appreciate it? He simply thinks it's nice of her to spend money to make us happy, until I pointed it out to him that it's disrespectful of her to do that in my own house. She has always annoyed me by buying stupid stuffs to make the house pretty. Before we stopped talking to her, now she's back to that habit again. I told her I want something that I could use if she really want to buy gifts. She got me Brillo pads.